Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we are jumping down into the world of Polkadot, taking a look at what's been going on with the most recent price action and what I might expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss another update here at Cheeky Crypto. And of course, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out. Also in the description down below you'll find links to our Patreon services. We offer a lot more for our Patreon members down in Discord, everything from project reviews, AMAs, and trading ideas, etc. So why not check that out if that is your bag. Also down below you'll find links to the new Cheeky podcast as well, which is a fantastic way to stay up to date with absolutely everything crypto on your daily commute to the office. All right guys, let's waste no more time though. Let's jump right down into this. Right, Polkadot paired up with USDT. We're on the hourly chart right here, and Binance is our data source. Now for the most part, Polkadot here is actually pretty simple in terms of its corrections. It's not overly complicated, and it's something that actually we noticed very early on, which means we were able to take advantage of some of these drops down pretty well, and good accumulation zones as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hop up into our daily here for a sec, because this is something that I noticed a while back, and as hard as it is to kind of witness it, and actually see where things potentially could end up going, and then to see that happen, it does actually allow us to kind of take advantage of that situation. Now for the most part, when it comes to Polkadot here, it obviously hasn't performed overly well during 2021. It had a few %1000% gains, but ultimately it wasn't all that much in terms of performance when you compare it to some competitors, right? So if you looked at Harmony One, Matic, Polygon's Matic, that is, VeChain, Cardano, Chili's. There's so many right now. I think that, and Chris I know shares the same opinion, that Polkadot is going to do incredibly well, right? The ecosystem's really just launching, it's starting to get some stuff built on it, and it's definitely one of those blockchains that I think has some pretty much some good positions to be well established for the future. So yeah, it's something that I think maybe because performance wasn't there in 2021, it might be there in 2023 for example. So it'd be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. But yeah, for the most part, the correction here is actually very simple, and it's very simple in that, because you have this measurement here. We can see a significant bounce, right? So we had this one pullback here. Okay, this goes from the highs of November down to the lows of February 2022, right? And then we obviously saw this bounce, and then we can obviously predict out that what happens next, right? Now the bounce itself could have gone up significantly higher, but the second that you actually lost this area, this lower 1405, you kind of knew that you're going to move down. So it actually kind of made this thing really simple to kind of utilize. We just grab this fib, we just move it over, and right down here we can see $6.11 on the 1-to-1 ratio. Now in theory we could go down to the 1.236, and overextension it wouldn't be too bad. That puts us at $4.43. So essentially if I grab that high place right up the top here, we've moved from $55 down to, at the point of recording this video, $6.78, right? So pretty much a decent correction. If I grab hold of that high point right here, down to our current price, we're down 87%. If we move down to the 1-to-1 ratio at $6.11, then we're talking about 88%. So actually it's held up well in comparison to many others. Even if we were to move down to this 1.236, we are only 90, 91, 92%. So, for us to kind of look at this and think, actually, it didn't have massive gains to the upside in comparison to some of the competitors out there. But it has actually held up really well in terms of the decline, right? So it's just an interesting kind of thought, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back down into our daily, and I'm going to walk you through what I think is actually going on with these most recent price movements. Because I think all of this here is actually a fifth wave structural move coming down, right? So we're looking at this coming down here. So for the most part, we are trying to count out where things are potentially going within the structure. Now, with Polkadot, it's actually very difficult to kind of do all these subwave counting, because it just doesn't make a huge amount of sense all the time. So I'm taking a look at this and I'm thinking, okay, well, we've kind of got ourselves here maybe a leading diagonal up at this point. Yeah, I'm probably going to say that that looks like a leading diagonal, or we have to take it from up here. You know, we have that kind of high point, we come down. You know, kind of got a three-wave drop, right? So we can see here we have a three-wave. So 1, 2, and 3, right? So we have that three-wave drop there, which is unusual in itself. These are then actually broken down into a zigzag pattern, a 5, 3, 5 structure. So again, you know, it's actually a zigzag, so I should use ABC. So if I grab that, it's a zigzag pattern just here. Then we move up here, again, another three-wave structure. Nothing special about this one, just moving around a little bit there. And then we start to see a pullback to the downside. Now, this one is where things start to get interesting. We have overlap just here, but a very significant drop, and then we moved up, right? Now, if we take a look at this in a couple of different ways, we could argue that here, this actually is our fourth wave, but I think this is actually more of a wave 1 drop. So I think we've got a leading diagonal right here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this is where wave 4 overlaps wave 1, and you have a mixture of 3-wave structures and 5-wave structures within this 5-wave move, right? We then move up, and then I think here we actually end up with this wave 1, wave 2, and I think we then end up, yeah, I would say we're probably ending up somewhere here like this. Okay, so straight away we have a 5, 3, 5 structure, and what we want to do is we want to check a couple of things with this, right? We want to check that low point just here, if I can grab it, there we go, up to the high point, which is this one. Move it over to this high point. You can see that we definitely passed 1.618. We actually hit down on the 2.618, so we know that that's a very impulsive structural move here. We then bounce up, okay, we didn't cross wave 1's leading diagonal, okay, so we end up with this high point here in a 3-wave structure. So again, we can just mark that up with 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then of course we drop back down. Now this drop to the downside is interesting because it's not overly that clear. We have this kind of real big drop, and it looks like it's just a 3-wave structure, but it's not what I would expect to happen there. I wouldn't expect that to be a 3-wave structure unless, of course, you know, we actually haven't finished the corrective move altogether. And again, we could argue that we haven't finished this correction just yet, and we haven't started that downside because yeah, we could end up with a really complicated kind of 4th wave here. It could be a running flat, and looking at it, it could actually be something like that. Yeah, so for now, you know, I think we've kind of got, yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it, looking at the data here. We could argue that there could actually put us into a running flat correction. I think that actually would make a little bit more sense. Let me just go grab that 3-wave structure, because it would be a 3, 3, 5. And the 5 would fail to go higher than W. X fails to go higher than the origin there. So interesting. I don't know. I'll leave it like that for now and see. And then, of course, what we're looking for is a 5-wave drop. Now, if that is our 4th wave high, okay, from this low point here to that high point there, come up here. There we go. Then this allows us to predict out where we think the low is likely to be. $5.21 to $5.89. Okay, so that particular area there. And then we still expect to have a 5-wave drop, right? So we go in here and we can try to check out what's going on. I think we might actually be now starting the next set down. So yeah, I think the subwave counts are more important than that macro move. So let's just go ahead and check that. We come in here and we can kind of see ourselves here with a 5-wave drop, move up 5, yeah. So I would say that this here is looking to complete that little move. Let me just see if we actually hit that. A little bit short, but I'm okay with that. So I would say that it's looking like all of this is a wave 1 kind of move. We bounce up, we then pull back down, we bounce up, we pull back down. So we could end up somewhere in this kind of range, might just a little bit deeper maybe, and we'll have to refine this as time progresses. But essentially the move to the downside looks like it's here with a small bounce to happen to the upside. This looks like a wave 4 with a wave 5 low inside. So if I grab this for a second, we're on 2, 3, 4, and then 5. You can see kind of 5 waves in here. So we expect the 3-wave move upwards. If we bring the stochastic RSI into play here, you can see that our hourly stochastic is indicating that we're oversold, so a move up is likely, but I wouldn't expect anything too major. On the 4-hourly chart, we're almost overbought, so again, that just completing that 2 hour, the wave 2 on the hourly chart would actually pull us right back up into the overbought area on the 4 hour chart. The 8 hour is actually in a pretty good spot. The daily is in a good spot as well. So we are very, very close to reversal. So I would estimate that dropping down towards this 521 to 589 is the bottom for Polkadot, at least before we see a significant surge upwards, and would have to reanalyze what would happen after that. But within this structure, this is where I would estimate the bottom to be. Okay, so this is the bottom of this corrective structure altogether, as I indicated on our daily chart here. Okay, as we had that 1-to-1 ratio, and in this last move, we have a 5-wave structural drop towards our lows. So essentially, we'll complete all of those moves, and then I do think from there, really, we move on up. And then obviously, we're looking to see whether or not we can move up in a significant way with the right kind of structure to say that we are finally done with the correction. So all eyes are really on those lows, get those in. And then from there, we really progress on up. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.